Hi, Jim.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going really well. I had a busy day. So,
Yeah, good. All right. You went out on a bike ride. It was nice.
oh, that is nice.
I'm, I'm going to start with the story. This is a story from John. It is about the healing of a man who is paralyzed.
Okay.
So Jesus is going up to Jerusalem, and near Jerusalem, there's a pool called Bethsaida, or sometimes it's called Bethesda. And the deal with the pool was sometimes people would say that an angel would stir the water, and the first person who could get to the pool would be healed by dipping their bodies in the pool. And there were 5 porches full of people waiting to get into the pool to be healed. So Jesus comes past this space, and there's a man there who has been there for 38 years. He's never been able to be the first one into the pool. There's never been anybody who to carry him in, and he's got some kind of paralysis that he can't move very quickly. So he's always the last one. He never makes it into the pool. He's never healed. So Jesus sees him and he says, "Well, do you want to be made well?" And the man looks at him. He says, "Nobody will help me get into the pool." He doesn't really answer the question. And Jesus says, "All right, get up your mat and walk." So the man stands up, picks up his mat, and walks. And then there are people who are upset with him because he did it on the Sabbath.
Hmm.
Jesus did.
It's funny. The first reaction I have to this is the man's illness was more that he didn't have a community that would help him. No
Hmm.
one paid attention to him. That was kind of he was distanced.
Right.
And the fact of the matter was Jesus noticed him. And that was the healing first, is being seen. Isn't that interesting?
Hmm.
I guess I've never really heard that in the reading in the same way. Our current situation makes us look at things differently, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing was that no one could put him in the pool, and I've always thought that that was about community supporting him, but I think really the illness itself was that he was disconnected. You know?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, that sort of is what's holding him bound more
Yeah,
so
yeah.
than the
So,
physical ailment.
and not that it was necessarily his fault, but he was inflicted with being disconnected from people, and he had no
Hmm.
one. You know?
Hmm. Yeah. Because his first response is to not if I remember it right, he doesn't answer Jesus' question. He
Mhm.
just kind of complains.
Yeah,
Um, but it does work out.
yeah. Well, there's a couple things more that I like about it. One is that
Mhm,
if he just does complain and Jesus still heals him,
mhm,
it doesn't like give us this idea that we have to have a contrite heart, or we don't have to be exactly the most amazing person to experience the kind of healing from our loneliness that God wants to bring for us.
yeah.
So, I mean, I think I've been working a lot today about putting together a connection between seniors that or people that are shut in and
Mhm,
people in the neighborhood, making connections, making relationships.
yeah.
And I'm working with Zeke, the city councilman, and some other people in city government, trying to find a way to have like a phone tree or phone a friend thing, where folks that feel disconnected could find someone to essentially lift them up and put them in the water. Even though we can't physically be with each other, that first step of healing is finding and being a part of a community. And I'm just struck with how much this is about just loneliness.
Mm,
Interest. And I would imagine that what will probably feel strongest within a couple of weeks is this sense of loneliness that sets in, and
mhm,
people that already have a susceptibility to depression and loneliness are going to really be hurting.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's what's listening here hearing in today's reading.
Mhm.
How about you?
I'm hearing a story about the economy, interestingly enough.
More, yeah.
So, this is a joke that my high school government teacher told. I don't think he was talking about economics when he told it, but he was joking about being in the woods, and his wife was like, "Well, we need to be careful about bears because they can run really fast." And he said, "Well, I really only have to run faster than you."
That's great. I like that.
And so the beautiful dad humor. So, but sometimes I feel like our economy operates that way a little bit, or like this five porches next to the pool of Bethesda, full of people, and only the person who's first gets healing. And so, thinking about how our health system has been working, only people who are at the head of the line get care.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and just in general, thinking about how much, if this is a more lasting situation than 2 weeks, what is going to happen to all the people who are at the back of the line?
Yeah.
Um, and so, I guess for me, there's a gospel there in the reminder that Jesus sees those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Like that.
but it's also a call to be paying attention myself. But that idea of someone who could be the last person or never first for 38 years, it's pretty
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think the message is for people today?
I'm finding hope in that idea of Jesus connecting, that the connecting is the healing.
Mhm.
And I don't know how much I want the paralysis to be a metaphor, but I think there is a connection between the body and the mind and this man's disconnection, and then Jesus reaching out to him. That feels very hopeful. Mhm.
I think if you look back at the video I posted of Jacob Lyerly,
Mhm.
um, I just I'm struck by how connected I feel to a lot of our members of the community, and how in this time of separation we can still feel so much like a community, and there's so many ways that we can lift each other up and put each other into the healing waters that we need. I don't My hope is there too. My hope is sort of built on our family of faith and the people that can gather together and love each other. So
Mhm.
I'm feeling hopeful too.
Well,
I love
good.
it. All right.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Talk to you tomorrow, Ian.
Okay, talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.